Picture this, a priceless Van Gogh masterpiece hanging in a prestigious museum, but with a dark secret tied to the Holocaust. That's the explosive claim at the heart of a lawsuit against the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, filed by the descendants of a Jewish couple who say their family's artwork was plundered by the Nazis. It's a story that dives deep into history, ethics, and the lingering shadows of World War II, and trust me, it raises questions that could keep you up at night. But here's where it gets controversial. Did the museum turn a blind eye, or is this just a case of incomplete records resurfacing decades later? To understand the drama, let's break it down step by step, like peeling back layers of a complex puzzle. The painting in question is Olive Picking, an oil work created by the legendary Dutch post-impressionist artist Vincent van Gogh in 1889. Post-impressionism, for those new to art history, was a movement that built on Impressionism, but emphasized bolder colors, symbolic meanings, and emotional depth. Think swirling landscapes that capture the essence of nature more intensely than a photograph ever could. This particular piece was legally acquired in 1935 by Hedwig and Frederick Stern, a Jewish couple living in Munich, Germany. They bought it as part of their collection, unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon. Just 1 year later, in 1936, the Sterns were forced to flee their homeland. The rise of the Nazi regime had made life unbearable for Jewish families, and with 6 children in tow, they escaped to California. But they couldn't take everything with them, especially not this cherished artwork. According to the lawsuit, the Nazi government deemed the painting German cultural property, barring the Sterns from exporting it or other items from their collection. Instead, a trustee, appointed by the Nazis, handled the sale on their behalf, though with a cruel twist. The proceeds were funneled into a blocked account, which the regime later seized entirely. It's a stark reminder of how the Nazis weaponized bureaucracy to strip families of their possessions, often under the guise of legality. Fast forward to the post-war era, and the painting makes its way to the United States around 1948. It landed in the hands of Vincent Astor, one of America's wealthiest individuals at the time. Astor's wife, Brooke Astor, even served on the Metropolitan Museum's Board of Trustees from 1964 to 1983, adding another layer of intrigue to the story. From Astor, the artwork passed through a gallery and was purchased by the Met in 1956 for $125,000, a hefty sum back then, equivalent to over $1 million today when adjusted for inflation. But the Met didn't hold on to it forever. In 1972, they sold it to Basil Galandris, a Greek shipping magnate, and his wife Felice. The couple later founded the Basil and Elise Galandris Foundation, BG, in 1979, which runs a museum in Athens where olive picking is now proudly displayed. Now, enter the modern-day legal battle. The Stern heirs are suing not just the Met, but also the Galandris Foundation and a surviving nephew of Basil Galandris. Their complaint, filed in a federal district court in Manhattan and first spotlighted by the New York Times, accuses the museum of knowing, or at least having reason to suspect, that the painting was Nazi-looted when they acquired it. The lawsuit paints a picture of secretive trafficking. The artwork was repeatedly and secretly trafficked, purchased, and sold in and through New York since the end of World War II, they allege. The heirs are demanding the painting's return, along with compensation for damages. They've tried this before too. In 2022, they filed a similar lawsuit in California, but it was dismissed in 2024, with an appeal shot down in May 2025. Still, they're pressing on, arguing that the Met's 1956 purchase was overseen by Theodore Rousseau Jr., the museum's curator of European paintings and a top expert on Nazi-era art looting. Rousseau, they claim, should have flagged the potential issues based on available information at the time. The Met, for its part, is defending its actions vigorously. In a statement, the museum emphasized its long-standing commitment to address Nazi-era claims. They point out that during their ownership, there was no record linking the painting to the Stern family. That connection only emerged years after it left their collection. The sale in 1972, they say, followed strict deaccessioning guidelines, The work was deemed of lesser quality compared to similar pieces in their holdings. While the Met respectfully stands by its position that this work entered the collection and was deaccessioned legally and well within all guidelines and policies, the museum welcomes and will consider any new information that comes to light, a spokesperson added. It's a classic case of hindsight versus the realities of 1950s record-keeping, and this is the part most people miss. How much responsibility should a museum bear for gaps in historical provenance? On the other side, the Goulandries Foundation isn't backing down. Their lawyer, William Sharon, called the allegations misleadingly incomplete and noted that previous attempts to sue the foundation and the Goulandries family in the U.S. have been dismissed twice. "We are confident it will be again," he stated, portraying the foundation as a highly prestigious organization in Athens that's being unfairly targeted. This case isn't just about one painting, it's a flashpoint in the broader debate over restitution of art looted during the Holocaust. Museums worldwide grapple with similar claims, and it forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. Should institutions like the Met be held accountable for past oversights, even if they acted in good faith? Or does chasing down every potential claim threaten the stability of art collections? And here's a controversial angle to ponder. Some argue that returning looted art disrupts cultural continuity, as pieces have been displayed and appreciated by new audiences for generations. Is that a valid counterpoint, or just a way to avoid righting historical wrongs? What do you think? Should the Met return olive picking to the Stern heirs, or is the evidence too murky to make a fair call? Do you believe museums have a moral duty to investigate provenance claims aggressively, or could that open Pandora's box for endless lawsuits? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to hear if you side with the family, the museum, or somewhere in between. This story touches on justice, heritage, and the ethics of art ownership, and your perspective could spark some real discussion.